Hello, happy May. I'm going to begin by just waiting a moment for everyone to join, but I'm so excited to do this ritual with you. As you come in, I would love for you to share in the chat how you're feeling today with an emoji or anything else that you want to share. Hi everyone, I'm seeing so many beloved familiar friends here and some new friends too. Laura, good to see you. Trish, Martina, hello. Hi everyone. Hi Lennon, so good to see you all. So as you come in, let me know how you're feeling today. Be honest. You don't need to just say, I'm okay. Just tell me, how are you feeling? It's May 1st. How is that sitting with you? And then you can also let me know if this is your first time tuning into a live with me, and where you're tuning in from, because I just love to be able to place our community members. It's so amazing to me that we have people from all around the world. Technology is amazing that we're able to connect with each other here in this way and to do this work. Why ritual? Why ceremony? This is the original healing modality. If you go back far enough in time, all of our ancestors practiced some form of earth-based spirituality through ritual. You've heard me talk about this before, but there's evidence that ritual predates our species, predates Homo sapiens, and that Neanderthals were practicing ritual. So just really incredible that as long as Homo sapiens, I realize I said that wrong, as long as Homo sapiens have been around, we've been practicing ritual. It's ingrained in our blood. And because it's been practiced for so many years, we know how to do this, and sometimes we just have to have the community, the guide, the tools, the time to remember. Hello everyone, so good to see you all. I'm just catching up on your comments. Yes, feels like summer is right around the corner. That's right. Yeah, so if it's anybody's first time joining me, let me know and I can give you a little bit of an introduction. It's been a long time. From Quincy, Illinois. Well, welcome back. Hi, Michelle. Martina says, feeling a little disconnected, full day of work, meetings. And I want to run away into the woods. I know that feeling. I do. I'm glad that you're here. We'll get close to that feeling of running away in the woods. So what I want to do today is a ritual. And as I said, ritual is the original healing modality, and that's for a reason. It's because it offers us the opportunity to connect to something greater than ourselves. Today is May 1st. It's this time of year celebrated by the pagan people, was known as Beltane. There's different words for it for different cultures, but it's really the point that marks halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. So who was here for the spring equinox ceremony? Can you believe, let me know if you were here for spring equinox ceremony when we were celebrating Ostara. Can you believe we're already halfway to the summer solstice? When I was like, oh my gosh, Beltane, it was actually Laura who's here. Laura was like, are you going to do a Beltane ritual? And I was like, Beltane is happening this soon? So thank you, Laura, for reminding me. This is totally because of your suggestion. I was like, it really caught up with me. How many of you with eclipse season and everything are just like, whoa, it just happened. So let me know if you can relate or if I'm alone with that. But yeah, I'm just so excited. The reason why we want to honor this particular moment in time, halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, is that when we reach these moments in the wheel of the year, in the rhythm of nature, they offer us a particular energy. And because we are part of nature too, right? The earth also created us. We can utilize this energy in really magical, purposeful, intentional ways. So the energy of today, being halfway from the spring equinox to the summer solstice, is and you'll remember the spring equinox, it was like renewal and growth and like coming out of darkness, and we had this beautiful ceremony with Ostara. today it's really about the sun, fire. I have my candles lit behind me. I'm wearing yellow for that reason. Beltane, the pagan festival celebrated this time of year, was honoring the sun god Bel, and B-E-L, Bel. And this time of honoring the sun provides us with the opportunity to connect to the life-giving force of the sun. And so as always, I don't usually plan rituals too much in advance, and I channel them in the moment based on the energy of those present. So because you're here watching live, I will be utilizing your energy across the internet waves. I don't know how it works, but it somehow works, and those are my guided rituals. No, they tell me all the time that like it lands exactly where they needed to. And even for those watching the replay, you are watching this exactly at the time you're meant to. But I'll be channeling this based on the themes present. So the themes are of the sun, honoring the sun. And it's ironic today, it's very overcast here, but my rhododendrons, which are beautiful purple flowers that bloom for just a couple of weeks in the spring. They just opened up yesterday. I garden and I have a bunch of my seeds started, and my first flower is blooming early. It's a zinnia, and she just opened, and it's a yellow zinnia, which if you don't know what zinnias are, they're like little sunflowers. So it's like a little sunflower just opened today, and my seed starting a little early, which I feel like is such perfect timing. It just tells me that we are right in tune with that blooming, blossoming here on the land that I live. And I'm so excited for you to connect to this energy, to connect to your inner radiance, to the sunlight, to the warmth, to also recognize that this is the time to wake up anything else that has been dormant within you this winter. This is the time to bring warmth to your heart if you've been carrying any darkness or heaviness. I know I have my own darknesses that I've been working with, doing shadow work and healing with. And I'm really excited to just bring some warmth and love and, the feeling of the sun on your skin. And it's just like the most comforting feeling in the world. We want to shine that light on our hearts and in our souls. So we're going to do that today as well. The other theme that's present with us here at this particular moment in the rhythm of the year is honoring the interweaving of the masculine and feminine forces for creation. And this isn't like the gender masculine and feminine, man and woman. It's the energetic masculine and feminine. And so we have all of this within us. So we're looking at the beautiful interweaving the dance. The maypoles. I don't know if you know this, but maybe you've seen the maypoles. They're like the tall wooden poles that have all the ribbons coming down. They're typically done around May, and usually, often we see this with children now, and they're interweaving the ribbons together, tying them all together around the pole, all the way from the top to the bottom, and it's this beautiful, almost like frantic dance that is done to weave them together when it's children doing it, and it's so fun and so sweet. We're doing a maypole here in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about, or less than a couple of weeks. So this maypole represents the interweaving forces of the masculine and feminine, how everything is interconnected and how creation is born of connection, right? And so we get to tap into some of that energy today too. Okay, if this is your first time joining, I did see this was somebody's first time. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Melanie Monaco, if we haven't met before. And I grew up in ceremony with my great uncle, Heyoka. And I have all these spiritual influences in my life. My mom was a yoga teacher, and my grandmother worked with angels, but I really found my way to spirituality through divine feminine work when I was in my teenage years. I'm a priestess initiate, and also I'm a self-love coach. So much of my spiritual journey, and I know this is true for so many of you as well, started out of my relationship to my body, where I realized I hated my body. And if I hate my body, I'm going to be living in a state of disconnection to nature, and I'm going to be living in a state of disconnection to myself. Our bodies are our connection to nature. They are like the physical manifestation of our presence on this planet. And so the spiritual component for me was awoken at a time when I was really in the thick of it with my body, and I realized I don't have to hate my body. And when I started opening up to loving my body, it opened up this whole world of healing I didn't even know was there. And now I'm like deep in it. I feel really good with my body and really at peace with my relationship with my body, which of course is a process, but I feel so, I mean, it's like way beyond where I was when I was in the thick of disordered eating. But now I'm like healing other inner child things I didn't even know were there. And the process of this spiritual and healing journey and self-love journey is that I found that like you go deeper and you're like, oh my gosh, I figured this out. I like have these tools and I have this knowledge and I have this wisdom and I'm connecting to myself, and then a trap door opens and you're like, whoop, there's this whole other level I didn't know was there. And then you gather more tools and you change your lifestyle a little bit, and it's just like evolution. And it's such a purposeful way to live because it allows you to know more about yourself all the time. It allows you to go deeper into compassion for yourself and for other people, to live life in a way that is on your terms, that is not only intentional, but intuitive. And part of what we're doing here with ritual and ceremony is really connecting us to ourselves, healing some of those things like the disconnection to the body or inner child wounds or whatever else you might be working through within yourself, and worthiness, fear of the unknown, control, perfectionism, all of that we're working with symbols and metaphors here, but we're healing all of those things because the soul speaks to us through symbols and metaphors. That's why dream interpretation is so powerful, because it's all symbolic and metaphor. And my background in Jungian psychoanalysts, in which I studied in college, and I studied with Dr. Claire Spingle-Estes, who wrote Women Who Wrote the Wolves, with Jungian psychology and archetypal psychology, especially even in the world of like myths and fairy tales and goddesses, is that I really understand and love to understand more of this language of the soul. And it really helps us all connect with each other, with the universe, with ourselves on such a deep level. So for this ritual today, we're keeping all of this is like the context, right? We have the sun god that's being worshipped this time of year, the interweaving together of the masculine and feminine, the questions I want to pose to you. And I want you to share this in the comments so that you can be witnessed and we can hold you in community. What are you bringing warmth to? What are you shining the light of the sun on within yourself? What is the darkness, the heaviness that you've been carrying that you are shining warmth on? I want you to just sit with this. Maybe you even need to close your eyes or take a breath to just really tune in, or maybe you just go with the first thing that comes to you. What are you shining the light on within yourself? What are you bringing warmth to within yourself? The answer could be something as simple as, I am shining a light on my fear of the unknown. I'm shining a light on my love for my body. I'm shining a light on my concern for my job. Like whatever it is, where are you bringing light within you? I want you to put it into the comments so we can witness you and you can be held in community and by me. And there's something about declaring this that is important to the ritual. So even if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the comments, which is totally fine, I want you to write it down for yourself. But if you can stretch yourself to the edge of your comfort level to be seen by the world just a little bit, which will be healing if you hold wounds about that. Stretch yourself to the edge of your comfort level. It'll be really beneficial. So I'm seeing a comment here saying my uncertainty. So shining a light on my uncertainty, bringing the warmth, the healing warmth of the sun to my uncertainty. Laura says, I'm bringing light to my worth as a professional. Yes, absolutely. I love that for you. What else are you all bringing warmth and light to? Amy says, my grief over bodily autonomy. Oh, yes, I am holding that with you. Absolutely. These are so powerful, y'all. Lindsay says, I'm shining a light on my trust in my unique voice. Asya says, healing my gallbladder. We have a comment that says, my role as a mother. Michelle says, I'm shining a light on my well-being and purpose. Oh, I love these. And I want you to notice how wonderful it is to see everybody else's or hear everybody else's and how that makes you feel. My hope is that it makes you feel less alone in the remembrance that we're all moving through something. right? And we all have extra love that we need to give ourselves. And by naming this in community, it really releases some of the shame that can keep us from self-love. See a comment that says, I'm shining a light on my trust with my inner self. Yes, I love that. These are so beautiful. Self-love and compassion. Absolutely. Yes. I love it. I'm shining a light on my inner child. That's what I'm doing. So what we're going to do, actually one more question I want to pose to you in this part. Maybe two. We'll see. I'm channeling this in the moment. So the next question I want to ask you is, what are you creating? What are you creating? Remember, the other component of the energy that's available to us today is the interweaving together of opposing forces in the process of creation, the interweaving together of the masculine and the feminine, the interweaving together of opposites for creation. So this might look like, for you, you're actually weaving together polarities within yourself. And in the priestess work that I do, we call it the sacred third. This is what I learned. I'm in the 13 Moon Mystery School with Kalila. And this is I just want to name that because lineage is important. I didn't make this up, right? This is from my teacher. But the weaving together of the opposing forces to find the sacred third, right? So what are you creating? And as you're considering this, think about like the conflicting voices you have within your mind. Like, I want to start a new career, but I also feel like I need to stay in this job that I'm currently doing, right? That's the conflict. What is the sacred third, and what are you creating there? Is it self-trust? Is it the feeling of freedom within yourself? Is it creativity? I hope you're following. Let me know if you're following what I'm saying. If you are feeling the opposing forces of like, maybe it's a relationship thing and it's like, I really want this relationship to work out, but I feel like in my heart I'm really unhappy. What is the sacred third? Is it renewal, rebirth, recommitment? Like, what is there? Okay, let me know I hope that you're getting this. Give me a heart if you understand if I'm saying this in a way where it lands. So what is your inner conflict? What are the opposing voices? And what are you creating that brings these two things into existence? And I feel like, or into love and acknowledgement. It's so easy for us in self-love work and in personal development to bypass and to just be like, that part, the self-doubt, the lack of self-worth, the toxic stuff, I just want it gone. And like, yes, we want to release the stuff that's keeping us back, but we can't shame ourselves into change in a way that is sustainable and will have longevity. I want to say that again. We cannot shame ourselves into change in a way that is sustainable and will have longevity. Because if you shame yourself into change, you're going to pendulum swing the other way. At some point or another, your shame is going to come out sideways. So if we want to heal the self-doubt, the lack of self-worth, the whatever inner conflict is, the challenge, the shadow, we have to do it through love, right? Because when we do it through love, it will maybe be a little bit more of a process, but it will be sustainable. It will have the longevity. Because it's coming from a place of love, and intention is everything. And the feeling of love is so much more healing and powerful, right? We know this to be true. When you're crying, when you're sad, when you're upset, and somebody comes at you and yells at you, it doesn't help. But if somebody comes at you and says, I love you anyway, you're able to process so much quicker. The same thing is true of ourselves. The parts of you that are holding the shame, that are holding the self-judgment, that are holding the lack of self-worth, the darkness, is the part of you that's wounded. So rather than shaming that part and being like, figure it out, I'm done with you, talk to it like you would your inner child, right? I love you anyway. You're doing the best you can. You're trying to protect me, and I still love you. And then that part will begin to shift and catch up with you. All right, I'm seeing... This is beautiful. I'm seeing your comments. I'm creating trust and surrender in the growth of my business. Yes. Freedom. I'm creating safety in my relationship with money and how I make it. Yes. Michelle, I'm creating faith and support with my purpose. Sue says, I'm creating trust in myself that no matter what happens to my health, I'll be okay. And at the end of it all, I still love myself. Through my pain, I'll still love myself and not blame myself. Yes, I'm so glad y'all love this. And so what we're doing right now, you're already in the process of ritual. You're naming these things, right? And again, I know not everybody's, those watching the replay, or if you're not able to share this in the comments, please do write these things down. There's something in putting it either in the comments or writing it down or doing both that is part of this ritual. What we're doing is we're setting the foundation, and then we're going to go into a soul journey, into a meditation, into a visualization, somatic means of the body experience, so that you don't only cognitively understand this stuff, but you feel it. So that's what takes this work to the next level, is that we're not just doing a guided meditation. We're not just doing the coaching and cognitive understanding of these parts of ourselves, but we're bringing the two together. And by bringing these things together, you are first planting the seed for the change you want to experience. You're bringing it into your subconscious mind and then bringing it into your body, because your subconscious mind governs so much of your actions and your reactions in your life. So the more we can teach the subconscious mind how we want to feel and that we're safe, and really bring love to be the driving force, which is a practice. I'm not saying you can do this 100% of the time perfect. I mean, but I do my best to practice it, right? It's a goal. And then you can bring it into your body so your body feels safe. If we're in the fight or flight mode, if you've experienced trauma in your life and your body gets triggered and activated from different things, even if it doesn't make sense, it's going to be really hard to act towards that feeling of safety you want to create, towards that feeling of love you want to create, towards that feeling of trust in yourself, the faith and support in your purpose, the faith and support with money, right? We want to make sure the body feels safe. We want to make sure the subconscious mind is on board. So you see how we're kind of making our way down and then coming back up. And that's what we do in the ceremony process. So we're right here. Next, we're going to go into the subconscious mind and then into the body, kind of simultaneously. So I want to invite you to find a comfortable place for your body to be for this next part of our ritual experience. And we'll have time at the end for questions and more connections, but this is where the magic happens. So I want you to really hang on with me to the end, because if you stick around to the end, you are going to feel differently. So just notice right now how you feel about everything we've brought up, what you want to shed a light on, the sacred third, the challenges between your conflicting parts of yourself and what you're creating in the middle, everything we've just been digging around. How do you feel about all of it? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel activated? Do you feel inspired? Do you feel hopeful? Just kind of notice, how does your body feel? Just notice. And as you're finding a comfortable place for your body to be, we're going to ideally close our eyes, but if you want to, you can just soften your gaze so that you're not looking at anything directly. But before we do, rub your palms together to create heat. This is so perfect because we're working with the sun god energy and creation. So you are creating warmth, life force between your hands. And we're going to imbue this with an intention. And right now, you are your own energy healer. You have the power within you. It's your birthright. It's part of who you are. You're activating it right now. And I want you to think about what you're bringing warmth to, just everything we've dug up. What are you bringing warmth to? Maybe you just repeat what you wrote in your mind or out loud. And what are you creating of the opposing forces within you? Once you've really settled into these intentions, you can place your hands on your body and close your eyes. I invite you to place your hands somewhere where you can feel your breath. So you can place a hand on your heart, a hand on your abdomen, or over your creative space, below your navel, your womb center, your second chakra. Somewhere where you can feel your breath, either your heart or your belly or both. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your heart expand. And as you exhale, open the mouth, release with a sigh. Inhale, opening the heart, allowing your shoulders to roll back just a little bit. Exhale, softening into this moment. Inhale, feeling your heart expand. Exhale, feeling your body soften. Continue this breath at a rhythm that feels good and nourishing to you in this moment. And as you breathe, I want to invite you to see if you can relax any part of your body that's holding tension unnecessarily. So for a lot of us, we might be clenching muscles in our hips or our seat. You might be furrowing your brow or clenching your jaw. Maybe there's some tension unnecessarily held in your neck and shoulders. Just do a scan from the top of your head down your body, noticing if you can release anything a little bit more so that your body knows it is safe for you to be present here. Your body is such a powerful tool for doing this healing work. And this simple reminder of relaxation is such an amazing entry point. So simple and so effective. And it's okay if you're holding tension or maybe you have pain somewhere that you can't release at that point in time. Just hold acceptance and love for yourself. You don't have to force anything. Just going to the best of your availability with everything right now. I want you to feel back into the energy you created in your hands, noticing if your hands are tingling at all. Feeling that warmth or energy move in from your hands into your body, bringing the intention into every cell of your being. In your mind's eye, you can see this activate as though there's light moving into every cell, all the way up to the crown of your head and down to your toes. Or you can just feel this sensation, the vibration of the energy from your hands moving into your body. And we're going to journey deeper in this. As you breathe, I want you to drop in to your imagination. Feel, sense, imagine, or know that you are in a sacred space. Allow your mind, your subconscious mind, to take you somewhere that feels sacred. It may be previously known or unknown to you. See what type of space presents itself to you here. Notice what's around you or the feeling that you hold. As you journey to this sacred space, it may be a place in nature, a temple, somewhere else entirely. Just notice. There's information for you here. You don't have to make sense of it. Just simply notice and remember. And as you move in this sacred space, you begin to realize there is a fire burning. A fire that has been lit, a sacred ceremonial fire. Notice how big this fire is. If it's a small little campfire or a raging bonfire or even a wildfire, just notice. Know that you are safe and that this fire is here as a healer for you. As you sit with this fire, notice that the fire begins to almost create shapes. And maybe as you gaze into this fire in your imagination, a symbol or an image or a shape comes forward for you. You don't have to make sense of it, just notice if something presents itself in the formation of this fire. It's almost as if the fire itself is an entity, a conscious entity. And you begin to realize that this fire is here to offer you amazing healing. So everything that you dug in deep to yourself today together, I want you to offer it all to the fire. This could be through telling the fire what it is you uncovered, through imagining yourself writing it down and throwing it into the flames, or maybe you even step into the flames yourself, or maybe you offer an object that symbolizes these experiences. Find what ritual, symbolic measure works for you, but you're going to offer all of the stuff you dug up around what you're bringing warmth to, the polarities that you are moving through in the force of creation. You're offering it all to the fire. Knowing that the fire is not destroying, but is actually recreating, is laying fertile ground for your future self to take root, for your present self to take root. And once the fire has fully consumed what you've offered, it begins to draw back as though its work is done, until it just becomes smoke and ash. And I invite you to walk over to this fire, to imagine yourself taking this ash and placing it over your hands or your skin. And as you absorb the nutrients left over, you absorb the energy of what it is you're creating. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Offering gratitude to this sacred space, to the sacred fire, to the sun. You can very slowly and gently begin to bring your awareness back to your body in this moment. You can begin to journey back to the space that you are physically in by bringing awareness to any sounds that might be around you. You could bring a little bit of movement into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and toes or squeeze your arms to just really presence yourself right here, right now. And without rushing, when the time feels right, you can begin to bring your awareness back to our shared space by allowing your eyes to open. And when you return, I would love for you to share in the comments any part of your experience that you would like to share. That was so powerful. I feel like I really went there with you. And as you share, I want to point out there are some key symbolic moments that came through in that channeling that will hold some really powerful and potent information for you. So the first one, and if you want help analyzing what these symbols might mean for you, I'm more than happy to help you, but you'll probably already know intuitively. You may or may not, but the first one is the sacred space, right? What was this space? And what kind of meaning does that hold? The second one was the fire. What kind of fire? Was it the small campfire, the large bonfire, the wildfire, or some other kind of fire? That will hold information for you. To me, the sacred space symbolizes the state of your subconscious mind in regards to your spiritual work at this point in time. That's my personal analysis. The fire symbolizes your comfort level with creation and destruction cycle. And it's not so much about like the size of the fire, but what that made you feel emotionally in witnessing it. If you were intimidated or if you were really engaged, how you worked with it, if you stepped fully into it, if you were a little taken aback by it, just gives us some information about how you feel about the situations we dug into today. Not bad or good, just information. And the more information you have, the more equipped you are to heal and process, right? The other symbol that came through was the offering to the fire, and the way that you offered it. It gives you kind of insight into like what your own, if you're doing rituals on your own, what they might be, and how your subconscious and your body wants to work with the releasing. And oh right, there was the image that you saw too. I think that holds a clue for you and like what you need to cultivate or bring your awareness to in this process of creation. And then how you felt when the fire died down and you were placing the ash on your skin. Like, how did that make you feel? All of these symbolic points have really potent information for you. And as my teacher, Dr. Estes, said, even nothing is something. So you can look at these from I didn't realize I did a thumbs up. So funny. You can look at these from so many different layers, right? You can look at it as like your personal subconscious layer. You can look at it as things you're bringing forward from like past generations or past lives, from the collective unconscious, meaning the unconscious of society or the world or even the universe. There's a lot of different angles to look at this if you want to analyze it. You also don't have to, I love to, because I'm like, that's just me, but you don't have to analyze it. You can simply receive it, and that's beautiful. All right, I'm going to see your messages. I see a comment that says, wow, my breathing is so much clearer and the tension in my lungs has lessened tenfold. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, so remember when I asked you before we did the soul journey, how you were feeling? Compare that to how you're feeling now. Let me know in the comments. Asya says, I saw a deer come up in the fire with me, stood next to it. Oh, beautiful. Also numbers 88. So what does that tell you? What does the deer symbolize for you? What does the number 88 symbolize for you? I'd love to know. Emmy says, thank you. This was lovely. I'm seeing a comment says, was high up in the canopy in a massive forest. Oof, that's amazing. I hopped down from the tree and into the wildflower and I just floated down. Oh my gosh, so visceral. I love it. And I was in the fires, but my traumatic memories were the things that the fire wanted. Yes, consume in order to recreate. We know, I mean, I live in Maine, but I'm from California originally. So I'm not a stranger to wildfires. And we know that they can be so devastating and so scary and like, just really, really heartbreaking. And also we know there are certain types of fungus and mushrooms and certain things in the soil that become activated only through a fire. And that's not to say like the fire is created by like humans over consumption of planetary resources are good. It's just to say that the naturally occurring wildfires that happen with or without our presence as humans is a part of the cycle of destruction and creation that we can tap into for our own understanding of our soul's journey. If you have any questions, I would love to offer space for you to ask them while we're here live together. And as you move forward for Beltane, for May, I want you to consider, and then like just in the next few days, because we're kind of in this window of time, our calendar year is like helpful for us, but it's nature is like in its own rhythm. So like just we're going to be in this window, not just on May 1st, but like in this vibe of window of time. And I want you to think about like how you're working with this energy, and maybe there's a way you can safely bring fire into your ritual. Maybe you cook over a fire. Maybe you have a candle that you light for yourself one more time. Just kind of reminding yourself with a continuation in a really easy, simple way. Like if you have a gas stove, next time you light the gas stove to heat something up, just like saying thank you to the fire. If you light a candle, maybe as you're getting ready for bed tonight, you want to bring a candle with you. Just bring it into your life in a really easy way. So much of the work that I do as a mentor is encouraging people to live ceremonially, because so many people get caught up in the dynamic of like, okay, I'm going to go do my yoga class. I'm going to go do my meditation class. I'm going to go do this ritual. I'm going to go do this course. And then I'm going to go back to my life, and I'm going to go back into my habits, and I'm going to hide all those parts of myself. And I'm just going to live in this like chaotic human modern day situation. And it's like, well, yes, can we also like bring ceremony even into the parts of our lives that feel chaotic and like disconnected from nature? And how can we look at everything as being sacred? And how can we, even in our mess, even when we're running late, even when we're getting angry with our people that we love, even when we're disconnecting and scrolling on social media, like how can we bring some ceremony and sacred vibes into that? That's so powerful. And that's what I want to encourage you to do as you work with this energy moving forward. You don't have to do anything fancy, just like bringing little moments into your day. Okay, the other thing that I want to encourage you to do if you liked this is to consider the guided rituals membership that I have. It's free for your first 7 days, and this is your daily spiritual practice. All of these rituals are very much like this, because this is the way that I channel ritual. They're all unique. There's over 100 of them in the membership library, and once you finish your free trial, it's $33 a month, a little more than $1 a day, or you can sign up for several months in advance and get a discount. So I want to encourage you to check that out. And if you have any other questions you want to ask me, let me know. The other thing I want to encourage you to, I see some comments. Michelle says, every part of the ritual was rebirth and renewal. A baby phoenix. Oh, yeah, so perfect for this. A baby phoenix appeared and I turned into a baby cub. Ooh, I love that. And the comment said, and it felt as I was spreading the ash that it was a rite of passage. Yes, and the flames to accepting the past and embracing the future. So powerful. Yeah. A comment says, Laura says, thank you so much for this. This was beautiful, and I'm sure I'm going to do it again when I get home. Love it. Yes, and if you all really are vibing with this kind of work, I do have a ritual. I see some of my ritual facilitator trainees and graduates here. So I have a training where I actually teach my process of channeling and offering ritual in a way that is not in alignment with any particular, I mean, today we were kind of working with Beltane, which is a pagan ritual, or pagan festival, but like you could do I tried to make this inspired by, but accessible to people who don't have Western European heritage, right? You could totally vibe with the sun and fire and renewal, no matter where you come from, right? So the purpose of the ritual facilitator training is actually an initiation, because so many of us, our ancestors would have gone through spiritual initiations, and it's just not something that's accessible or even works with modern life. And so this is, or maybe your ancestry, like it just has been erased and it's not something that you have access to or interest in pursuing in that way. And so you can create your own initiation. And that's really so much of the purpose of the ritual facilitator training, because anybody who is a spiritual leader in ancient times would have gone through an initiation. So that's part of it. And then I also teach you the framework for how I create and channel rituals so that you can do it in a way that's very much your own. and aligned with your own ancestry, your own lineage. We do a lot of ancestral work in this container. So I would love to invite you to check that out if that's something you're interested in. The next one starts on the summer solstice. So I'm really excited. And then, yeah, so beautiful. And then I also have the Self-Love Coach certification course. If you really liked the coaching portion of this, like the questions I asked at the beginning and like kind of the more cognitive processing, the themes, the body love stuff, the Self-Love Coach certification course starts on July 1st, and I'm already getting several enrollments, so I know this is going to be a super great class, and the applications I've received are so powerful. So if it's something you're interested in, I just opened enrollment this week, and you can check that out through the link in my bio or send me a message. Michelle says, I loved both programs. Yes, so good to have you here, Michelle. Yeah, and I see Gloria too also did both programs. Good to see you. So many ways we can work together. The ritual membership is the easiest way to enter into the work. Free trial. We have the ritual facilitator training and the Self-Love Coach certification course. And I can't believe I forgot to mention this sooner. I have a workshop sale happening until tomorrow. So if you want to go deeper into some of the archetypal psychology, I have a Healing with the Fairy Tales workshop. That's my favorite one. But if you are interested, there was stuff about like money and career here. If that's vibing with you, I do have a lot of inspiring workshops about like the shadow work of entrepreneurship. There's a little bit of a ceremonial work in there. And we also have shadow work coaching techniques, marketing magic, which is honoring the moon cycle with your marketing strategies. It's super fun. And so much more. So you can go check it out. The link is in my bio, or you can send me a DM. Gloria says, definitely worth doing both programs. Thank you. So good to see you all here, and for those wonderful words of affirmation. I received the love, and I send so much love to you all. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your day and Beltane May Day experience, whatever you call this, whatever this is for your ancestry. And when is the next fairy tale workshop? Ooh, so you can, if those of you who are interested in doing the fairy tale workshop, if you didn't attend it live or didn't purchase the replay and you want to do another one, I was actually thinking I'm going to say this out loud. This is like so much still in my brain, but because you're asking about it, Asya, I'm going to talk about it. I was thinking of like, what would it be like to do an extended program where it's like the fairy tale workshop, but you work with your specific fairy tale. I was actually talking with one of my mentors about this. I feel like my fairy tale that's like most aligned with my soul, like the movie I loved growing up, the fairy tale I've studied the most academically, the archetypes that resonate most with me, it's Beauty and the Beast. And I think I was talking to my grandmother about this too. Hers is Cinderella. She just really resonates with Cinderella. She watched my fairy tale workshop and she called me and she like talked to me for an hour about her thoughts. It was so beautiful. So if you have a fairy tale that you feel like, that was my favorite one growing up. Snow White was my favorite one. Sleeping Beauty was my favorite one. We could work with that to give you a complete healing journey, because there's fairy tales. Like I was saying earlier, the language of the soul is metaphors and symbols. Fairy tales are all metaphor and symbols. And fairy tales are so like feminine. They're so rooted in the divine feminine experience. There's a lot of myths, like the hero's journey. A lot of mythology has a lot of masculine storylines in it. Fairy tales have a lot of heroines and feminine storylines. And that's why I resonate with them so much. And so I would love to do this program where you find or you connect with your like soul archetypal journey. And the wisdom that will provide for you and understanding of your soul is like nothing else. And it also, a lot of the program would be opening up to awe, enchantment, and wonder, which has been proven to be an emotional experience that we have less of as modern day humans, but that as ancient humans we had a lot of. And it actually helps reduce anxiety, depression, can help prevent disease, and all of the things that our body experiences as challenges when we're not processing things. And on wonder is like such a underrated medicinal tool. Of course, like we also need medicine, but like this is just, it's a really powerful tool that we just don't utilize. And fairy tales and mythology are like a gateway into that, especially when you start to open up to see the themes and symbols in your own life, when you can be like, whoa, I was like fully in that Cinderella archetype in that experience, or like, whoa, I feel a lot like Beauty from Beauty and the Beast in this experience. Like, oh, why is it I'm trying to save all the men in my life? Is it because my archetypal journey is Beauty and the Beast? Right? It just gives you these clues, and because they're archetypal, they transcend the individual and are part of the collective experience, which is why they're also relatable in so many different ways. So I could go on and on. This is what I studied in college and spent years diving into. And so I think it would be really cool to do a fairy tale course that would be like, it would be like a coaching ceremonial journey, like the fairy tale workshop, just extended. I'm glad y'all would love it. Gloria says a fairy tale retreat would be nice. Gloria came to my last retreat in September. That would actually be so cool. That would be amazing. A fairy tale retreat. If we like rented a little like castle space. Oh my gosh. I'll think about it. Anyway, thanks for letting me share my creative ideas with you all and for your feedback. This is what I live for in this business, this work. It's why I love to talk with you all and connect this way. It's good to know it's something you'd be interested in. And if another workshop, thank you so much for putting the idea out there. If another workshop is exciting to you all, then I would really love to. I'll keep that in my back pocket. And if a longer program would be fun, it's something that I'm pondering, so we'll see. All right, love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Happy, blessed Beltane, blessed May. As you go through the second part of the spring cycle, just remember the seeds that you maybe planted at the beginning with the spring equinox and how you can continue to nurture them. There's something, I'm a gardener, and there's something that happens when the sun starts to get a bit stronger. I've seen this happen in my backyard within the last few days in my garden. The plants just go boop, like they just pop open. So what is it that has been slowly growing that you can just pop, bloom, start to grow a bit brighter? And if you need anything at all, I'm here for you. If anything comes forward about the ceremony today that you would like assistance processing, send me a DM or an email. And I hope to see you soon, either on another live or in my guided rituals membership or wherever else we can connect. Blessings to all of you.